Preparation of pure sample of potash alum. Potash alum is a double salt of potassium sulfate and aluminium sulfate. It has the formula K2SO4 Al2SO4 thrice 24H2O. It is prepared by dissolving an equimolar mixture of hydrated aluminium sulfate and potassium sulfate in minimum amount of water containing a little of sulfuric acid. The resulting solution is subjected to crystallization and octahedral crystals of potash alum separate out. Our aim here is to prepare a pure sample of potash alum. Materials required: 2.5 grams potassium sulfate, 10 grams aluminium sulfate, dilute sulfuric acid, alcohol cold water mixture, distilled water, cold water, china dish, spatula, glass rod, beakers, measuring jars, crystallizing dish, watch glass, filter papers and hot plate. Procedure: take about 2.5 grams potassium sulfate crystals in a clean 250 milliliters beaker. Measure about 20 milliliters of distilled water in a measuring jar. Pour it into the beaker containing potassium sulfate crystals. Stir the solution using a glass rod to dissolve the crystals. If the crystals do not dissolve, warm the solution to dissolve the crystals. Now, take 10 grams of aluminium sulfate crystals in another 250 milliliters beaker. Pour another 20 milliliters distilled water into this beaker. To this, add about 1 milliliter of dilute sulfuric acid to prevent the hydrolysis of aluminium sulfate. Warm the beaker for about 5 minutes to obtain a clear solution. Now, transfer potassium sulfate solution into the china dish. Then, transfer aluminium sulfate solution into the same china dish. Mix the two solutions in the china dish using a glass rod. Heat the solution in the china dish over the hot plate. To avoid crust formation on the side of the dish, stir the solution continuously with a glass rod. When the volume of the solution is reduced to about 1/2 of its original volume, take a drop of the concentrated solution at the end of the glass rod and cool it by blowing. Formation of a thin crust indicates that the crystallization point has reached. Now transfer the hot saturated solution into the crystallizing dish. Place the crystallizing dish in a trough containing cold water. Cover the dish with the watch glass and allow it to cool slowly for some time. On cooling, colorless crystals of potash alum separate out. Wash the crystals 2 or 3 times with a little alcohol containing a small amount of cold water. Using the spatula, remove the crystals to a filter paper which soaks up the solution. Transfer the crystals to another filter paper and dry by pressing them gently between the folds of the filter paper. Now, transfer the crystals into a watch glass. The crystals of pure potash alum are colorless and are octahedral in shape. Precautions: the solution should be evaporated slowly by gently heating during concentration. Cool the solution slowly to get good crystals.